people, did she?
Yeah.
Must be something wrong then, because she never uses her phone. Here, keep ringing the bell. With any luck, she'll open it.
What do you mean with any luck? Is there something wrong with her? Is she deaf, crippled, what?
No, just doesn't believe in opening her door, that's all.
Oh, are you sure she's in?
Yeah, of course she's in. She's always in. She never goes out.
See, it's wedged open. An outside door. I mean, it's stupid, isn't it? Anyone can see that's an outside door. I saw it as soon as I drove up and heard the alarm.
And there was no one working here at the time?
Well, not on a Saturday, no. Here's the other one. Wedged open. All these windows. He opened them for no reason at all.
Maybe this is where he came in.
No, he came in this way. See?
Do you know if anything's been taken?
Well, you wouldn't have much chance, would he, eh? Not with my van drawing up. He was away.
Did you see whoever it was?
I heard him running. Yeah, he's opened those as well. And these. No wonder he had no time to nick anything. He was too busy opening windows. Even those with bars on.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
He's stupid, whoever it was. He's opened just about every door and window in the place. He's even opened that one.
It's just I've had a lot of things to do today. Orders to complete. Just keep the dust out. And that smell. Comes from that soap place over by the turnpike. Somebody told me they burn bones there to make soap.
Mrs. Edge?
Yes?
You phoned Sunhill Police Station. You said it was urgent.
Yes.
Well, would you mind telling me what...
I'd like to make a complaint.
Mm-hmm. What kind of complaint?
I'd like to make a complaint about my husband. He wants to kill me. Oh, he does. He wants to kill me. And I've got proof.
Oh, sorry.
Sarge?
Yeah?
You're a minor CRO information.
Am I?
You ever heard of someone doing a bit of breaking and entering and leaving the doors and windows open?
Yes.
No, I mean all the doors and all the windows. Just left open, even the ones that don't need to be open.
What about the street door and the windows to the street?
Yeah, those as well.
No. Never heard of that.
Thanks.
I make cushions. Here it is. Here's your proof.
Mrs. Edge, are you trying to waste my time?
Me? Of course not. Haven't you read it?
Yes, I've read it.
Well, isn't that what you'd call a threatening letter?
It might have been once.
How do you mean?
It's a bit out of date, Mrs. Edge. That letter was written 4 years ago.
Oh. Does that make a difference?
I didn't know you were on this weekend.
No, neither did I until I volunteered.
Volunteered?
Well, no, more of a swap for a couple of weekdays. Domestic problems. Hold on a minute. My landlord's having an all-day open house birthday party, and I don't want to be there.
Why?
Because the place is going to be full of a load of... And what do you do, people? And I don't want to do anything this weekend except be myself. What's that smell?
Paint.
No, it's not. It's you. Talk about lavender and old lace.
Potpourri.
Who?
I had a shout to go to this weird house. You could hardly breathe in there. And there was this woman sitting there, stuffing cushions
Yeah,
with...
don't tell me. And you're wearing the wrong clothes for a start. Smelling like that, you should be walking around in a Beatrice Potter frock.
Thanks.
Joe!
Sarge.
Mrs. Edge, Parsons Walk. Now, you handled that call, didn't you?
Yes.
So what happened?
Time waster.
Yeah, well, look, she's just rung again, apparently in an agitated state. Reckons her life's being threatened and we're not treating that threat seriously.
Sarge, there is no threat. Well, not anymore. Look, she and her husband split up about 4 years ago. She took a lot of his stuff and wouldn't give it back to him. Therefore, he said in a letter, an old letter, that he'd kill her. That he'd suffocate the Garrity bitch with one of her own cushions. Those are his words, not mine.
Cushions?
Yeah. Mrs. Edge spends most of her time manufacturing cushions. Well, I don't know how she ever sells any. She never goes out of the house.
Yeah, look, Kate, just go and have another chat with her, will you, June, please? Just to put her straight. I mean, if she's a time waster, spell it out for her. We can't have her ringing up every 5 minutes now, can we? Look, just do some of your PR stuff, all right?
Well, I've tried it.
Try again. What's that smell? Have you been overdoing it with the bath salts or something?
Viv, can you... I'm sorry, Steve, can I get...
Do you
Viv,
mean
can you
again,
do us a
Jim?
favour?
What's that?
Look, if you've got a minute, can you do a check on a Mrs. Margaret Edge, Parsons Walk, and also a Mr. Edge, who used to live there once?
Right.
Yeah? Sorry, you go first.
I was upstairs working. I came in to catch up on a few bits and pieces of office work. Then I heard this go.
And you say you saw him?
Yes. I came out of my office and stood up there and watched him. I don't suppose he reckoned anyone was in, not at the weekend. He just came through there and went to this door and just opened it. And this one. Then he went to that one, the front door, and opened it from the inside. Then he came back across here and opened these doors. Then he was just about to climb up the stair when he looked up and saw me. Then he just ran back across there, and went back out the way he came in.
Did you hear a motor?
No.
So what do you keep in here, Mr. Perrott? Anything of value?
Not really, no. Unless someone wants to drive up in a truck. We're screen print suppliers. We supply equipment and materials for screen printing.
Late 30s to early 40s. White, dark-haired, about 5.5 feet tall. Wearing a brown bomber jacket, grey trousers and black and white trainers. Not a lot else to plot up on, really. Except that he seems to be a bit of a chancer. A petty cash merchant who seems to like fresh air.
Come on, then. Come on. There you go. Come on, come on, you naughty girl. You've been fighting again. Come on. Yeah, Bessie. Come on.
Excuse me.
Oh, hello.
Check this one out for Melvin, will you? See how it tallies up with this morning's 11:15 at the Barrylands estate.
Open windows?
Yes, and fresh air.
What kind of an MO's that?
I don't know, but it's something I could do it right now. I'm an outdoor man myself, always have been. I shouldn't be made to work weekends. Did I ever tell you?
No.
No, I don't suppose I ever did, but one of these days, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go and do it.
What?
Take all my leave in one go. Do an half the ransom, you know. Stick a bag on me back and take to the open road. Just me in the wide open spaces. Oh, I should have done it years ago.
So what's stopping you?
The garden, of course. I can't just leave my garden, can I?
Dear Oscar from 659, are you receiving me? Over.
Come in. If
your friend Mrs. Edge won't answer her door.
Well, you just have to wait like last time. She'll answer it eventually. Come on in.
All right, then. Do you happen to know her phone number?
No, but I've already told you. She won't use the phone. Come on.
But she's phoned us twice.
Yes, but she won't answer it. She never answers it. She keeps it covered up with cushions. Didn't you notice?
Cushions? I've just about had enough of cushions.
What?
Nothing. Look, tell me something. If Mrs. Edge never goes out, then how does she make a living?
Oh, well, I get the orders for her.
So what about her shopping?
I get that and all.
So what's wrong with her?
Nothing. Here, look. This one's just had 4.
Well, there must be something wrong with her.
Why? She doesn't want to go out. That's her business, excuse me.
So what about Mr. Edge?
Well, what about him?
Well, did you ever meet him?
No. He was gone before I moved in.
So how long has it been? Days, weeks, what?
What?
Since Mrs. Edge decided to stay indoors.
Oh, much longer than that. She hasn't been outside for years.
No. Mrs. Edge!
Oh, it's no use. The lights are out.
So what does that mean?
Well, it means she's having a lie down. Well, she always has a lie down in the afternoon. I mean, she doesn't sleep at night, that's all.
Oh, that's it. Look, when you see Mrs. Edge, give her a message from me, will you?
Yes.
Will you tell her that WPC Ackland called for a second time and that once again my time has been wasted?
Oh, dear.
I mean, out there are more important things to be dealing with. People who genuinely need help.
Oh, I know.
And if Mrs. Edge decides that she still wants to see me or one of my colleagues, then she can get up off her cushions, open the door, step outside and walk.
Right. I'll tell her.
Thanks.
Is it about Mr. Edge, then?
What about Mr. Edge?
Well, you were asking about him. I mean, is he coming back?
Coming back?
Yes, he had to go away, didn't he? She told me, so maybe he's coming back.
But coming back from where?
Well, the baby. He smothered it, didn't he? Years ago, with a pillow. He killed it. She told me.
Parsons Walk.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Edge?
Yeah.
No, we checked it out. There's nothing.
Yeah, look,
Hey, have you tried the NHS? I mean, maybe they've got a patient data list, an index system or something about people who've been institutionalised.
Well, I can try it.
Would you do that for me then?
I want you to do it as soon as possible. Yeah, out. June, there's not much to do down there. June!
Yeah?
That Mrs. Edge, you haven't managed to sort her out yet then?
Oh, well, I haven't had much of a chance, have I? She's gone to bed for the rest of the day. She won't answer the door.
Well, I see. So what are we in? Fruitcake country?
Sarge?
The information you just asked for.
Look, Sarge, I've just about had enough of Mrs. Edge and her cushions. I can't make contact with the woman. And when I did, I couldn't get a reasonable conversation out of her. Now, a neighbour tells me that Mr. Edge was guilty of killing his own child. But there's nothing on file to show that that ever happened. Anyway, I thought I'd try the institutions.
And that's all you need on a Saturday?
Yeah, right. But the nice thing is that my Saturday is finished. It's nearly 2 and I'm going home.
But it won't end there, you know. What won't? You've still got Sunday to go. And the fruitcake fraternity love their weekends. That's when they peak. She's got you, you know.
Me?
You see, people like Mrs. Edge, they only like to deal with one person at a time. And that person is you. You have become her champion. Her one and only sole representative. No one else will do. Not now. See you tomorrow.
Is Ken Melvin due off at 2, Sarge?
Yeah, so are we.
Right, you can deal with this little lot tomorrow then.
Why, is it urgent?
Well, it depends on the seriousness of the situation, but I think he'd like to handle this one himself. It's the fresh air fiend.
What?
The man who's been leaving all them windows open. Ken wanted some information, remember? This could be of use to him. Well, you and all this big wide world stuff. You got nothing on this fella.
Raymond Arnold Faraday?
Yeah, that's his fault. And look at that medical report. Have you ever heard of anyone with convictions for breaking and entering and a morbid fear of confined spaces?
With what?
This joker only suffers from claustrophobia. He'd have fun in a cell, wouldn't he?
There you are. There. No, I haven't seen Raymond since yesterday.
Oh, what time yesterday?
Yesterday morning, when I put his breakfast on the stair. He won't come down here, you see. Not until I've let all the dogs out and opened all the doors and windows. It's because of his so-called illness.
Aren't you worried about him?
Why should I be worried about him?
Well, if he hasn't been home all night, he is your son.
Yes. And he's a son who's 39 years old and quite capable of looking after himself.
But if he's got this problem with his breathing...
His breathing? His trouble isn't here. It's here, in his mind. And those prison doctors put it there, no one else. I mean, the trouble I have. Having to leave his food on the stairs, having to leave all the doors and windows wide open, even in the middle of the winter. I'm the one who's entitled to have a breathing problem, not him. So, what's he done this time? Thieving again?
Breaking and entering. He didn't exactly have time for any thieving. He was too busy looking for some fresh air.
No, I can't help you.
Well, did he say where he was going when he went out yesterday morning?
No. He just took his bike and went.
His bike?
His push bike. He won't go in a car. He doesn't believe in public transport, so he goes everywhere by bike.
Have you looked to see if he's brought his bike back?
Yes, he hasn't.
Have you any idea what he was wearing when he went out?
Yes. His brown jacket. His little brown jacket and his grey trousers.
Guess who's been asking for you this morning?
Oh, no, please, not Mrs. Edge.
No, almost. A next-door neighbour. Oh. She's worried about the lady. Seems like there's no sign of life in the house this morning.
Yeah, well, there never is.
Best to have a look, eh?
Oh, Sarge, please.
The Bonding House, Flint Lane, Sarge. And at what time? Right, thanks.
Sierra Oscar to 416.
416 receiving.
Could be your weird one again, Kenneth. The Bonding House, Flint Lane. Front door and windows to the premises left open, and there's a push bike of all things left parked outside.
Thanks, Sarge, I got that.
You see, she always opens up first thing on the Sunday morning. I always get the milk and the Sunday paper for her. It's the only paper she ever reads.
And you've tried ringing the bell?
Yes, and knocking. Well, she usually opens up for me. And the light round the back, the kitchen light, that's not on. And she always has the kitchen light on first thing. Oh, I do hope nothing's happened.
Mrs. Edge, can you open the door, please? It's Sunhill Police.
Oh, I hope nothing's happened to her. Oh. Margaret!
Yes,
Can I speak to Mrs. Edge, please?
she's all right.
I still need to talk to her. Could you bring her to the door, please?
I said she's all right.
And who are you?
Me? I'm her husband.
No, what? I'm telling you, she's all right.
So where is she?
Margaret! Mrs. Edge!
Well, she's not in there. She's upstairs.
Show me. And you stay here.
And here.
After you. Mrs. Edge? Are you all right, Mrs. Edge?
Yes.
We were having a talk. We've got a lot to talk about. Well, since I got back.
Got back from where?
Abroad. I was working abroad. I took a job abroad after all this happened. I was on a long-term contract. She knew I was coming back. She should have told you.
I showed her the letter.
What was the point in showing anybody that after all this time?
I thought you were going to hurt me.
Hurt you? I wouldn't hurt you. You know that. It was a bright sunny morning about 4 years ago. We came into this room and found our child dead. No one was to blame. It was... We still blamed each other. We even threatened each other. It was the way you think at the time, thinking the wrong things for the wrong reasons.
So, so what was it? A cot death?
Yeah. It was just bad luck, they said. Just lousy, rotten luck. We loved that child.
So, what are you going to do now?
No? Well, things are going to change now, right? Things are going to be a little bit different from now on, eh? For a start, we're going to let some light into this place. Yeah, and some air.
Sierra Oscar to 643.
643 receiving, over.
June, could you go to the bonding house, Flint Lane, and assist Constable Melvin with a suspected break-in? It's believed the intruder may still be on the premises.
Will do, Sarge.
It's got to be him. Raymond Faraday. And that.
And you reckon he might still be in here?
Well, yeah, the old geezer across the street does. He saw him arrive yesterday afternoon on his bike. Thought he must be one of the workers come back for something. And then this morning, when he woke up, the bike was still there and the door was open, so he called us.
So what's this about all the windows being left open?
Would you believe claustrophobia?
Well, normally no. Today, yes.
I'll have a look down here. Do you want to try over the other side?
All right. Ken!
Gordon. Bennett.
He must have been up there since yesterday.
Yeah. Poor old Raymond. Just one window too many, eh?